In this video, I will show you how you can use PearDeck to send your students in kindergarten assignments. When you send students a PearDeck link, they will always be prompted with this screen first. They're free to fill out the smiley face, the yellow, and the red, or they can skip. Once they choose or skip, it'll begin with whatever assignment you've created. So here it's got a little activity for me to do, and what you would want to do is train your students to look for this icon right here. When a PearDeck slide has the headphones, that means that there is audio involved. So when they click it, they see a little bar here. They can hit play, and then as the teacher, you would have recorded your directions for what you want students to do on this slide. Many students in kindergarten can't read, so it's very important that you have the ability to provide those directions verbally for the students. So they would click the play button.
Fill in the missing letter.
They can pause it, play it, go back, listen to it as many times as they need to in case they didn't understand the first time or they forgot. It'll be on here no matter what. So then they have some different options. They can choose their color. They can choose what they're writing with. They can use the pencil, a highlighter. There's a line, there's a text box, and then there's your eraser. You would, again, just like in Kami, you would train your students on how to use these, ideally before expecting them to apply them to an assignment. So I'm just going to pick the pencil. I'll make it pink. And then I can go through and complete my assignment by just clicking on the screen and drawing. Students are also able to, you can make that bigger. If they want, they can also use a text box. They would just tap where they want the text box to appear, and they would type the letter in this way. And that is just personal preference. It depends. That's a little blurry for you, I'm sorry. But it depends on the technological ability of your students. When they're done, they would just click the arrow, and it'll save all their work. This is a student-paced PearDeck. You have the ability in PearDeck to send the students ones that they work with on their own at their own pace. You may also send them teacher-paced ones. So if you were happen to be working with a small group who had the touch screen Chromebooks, you could actually move the slides forward at whatever pace your group happens to be moving at. So now we're on another slide, and this is just an example where they can circle items that start with the letter B. And again, they've got the audio here. If they press play,
circle the items that start with B.
You should be able to hear the directions, and then they can complete the activity. So on this one, not so much to be able to use a text box. They would probably want to use that pencil or the highlighter, and they can just go through and circle balloon, bat, bug, and so on and so forth. And then next, when they're finished. And this is a different kind of activity. You would want to include your audio on this as well. So I didn't include the full audio because I wasn't going to read a whole story on this tutorial, but I did at least provide directions for what the students are going to do for this slide. So here they would listen to a story that I would then read, and then at the end of the story, they would just draw a picture of the setting using these tools. So they would press play.
In this slide, you will listen to a story that I will read to you. After you listen to the story, you will draw a picture of the setting.
And that's where I stopped my directions because I wasn't going to actually do that. You're welcome to customize that as in any way that you want to, but basically the students would listen to the directions, listen to your story, and then they have this blank space that they can use to draw pictures. They can do grass if it's outside, they've got brown, they can draw a tree, whatever they need to do to represent the setting of the story. And I only did those 3 slides as an example. There are tons of possibilities of how this could be used. It can be used in any subject. All of the slides that I showed you today are the pre-made PearDeck slides. That they come in templates, and I just clicked which ones I liked. However, even if you see one that you sort of like but you wish was a little different, you can customize these words. If the students had listened to a story from you during a class read aloud, during a whole group lesson, you could delete that part and just draw a picture of the setting from the story blank. And the students will know, we read the story today, we filled this out. So all of these slides are completely able to be customized. You can also, if you have Google Slides that you've created in the past, you can add any of these. You can add multiple choice questions. You can add all kinds of different features to any slide that you make from scratch as well. So these are just a couple of examples of how you could use PearDeck with kindergarten students.